Hi, it's me again. And here I'm going to talk about Batman. Um, Batman's cool. Um, Batman Piderman, that's like one of the best shows ever. It's not, but it's one of like the best. It's my favorite series that I've watched on that's like started on the internet and watched on YouTube. It's very good. It's very strange, but I love it. I love it a lot, and I may or may not link it down below depending on how I feel. Yes. So, that out of the way, I'm gonna talk about Batman. I don't I have a lot of comics, but they're like scattered comics because we just got one of those big boxes. So we have like 200 comic books, but they're not. Most of them are of disparate series. Like the only series that I've read like amounts of that aren't just a couple like 2 issues. I've read like 5 issues of Superboy and the Ravers, and I've read them over and over again. I really like Superboy and the Ravers. We have like 3 issues of Hawk and Dove. I don't know why, and like a couple others. They're like a lot. We have a lot. But I've mostly experienced like full comic narratives through this channel called Comic Storian, and they do real good stuff. They narrate comics and like just give a plot summary, and so I can listen to a plot summary while doing other things instead of having to just like read a plot summary, because I can't do other things while I'm reading. It's like an audiobook but a plot summary. So I listened to some of the plot summaries for Detective Comics because I had read a little bit of the Detective Comics and I was like, this is good. I want to know the rest of it. So I did. It's so good. It's so good. I haven't gotten to all of it, but the first arc is about someone like prophesizing the League of Shadows and making all these robot Batmen, and it turns out to be Batwoman's dad. Oh my god, because Batwoman was in the army, and her dad is in the army, and then she left the army to be a Batwoman, and her dad helped train her, and also did robots. And Bruce was like, "Why are you doing this?" And he was like, "You took my daughter away, and now she's gonna die." And Bruce is like, "Stop, jail." And they go in, they attack the Bat people, and they they predicted the League of Shadows, but they didn't know who's in it, so they were going to kill like hundreds of people. Cause they were just like, hey, if we get to kill them, then that's fine. As long as we kill the League of Shadows people, that's collateral damage, baby. And then Tim Drake, who is a good Robin, hacked into the system and altered the computer and made all of the drones come for him. And he was alone. And right before it, he called suppose his name's Stephanie. I think her name is Stephanie. I'm gonna call her Stephanie. He called Stephanie and was like, "I'm sorry, I love you." And then called like uh Bruce, I believe, and Bruce was like, "Hey, dude, what's happening?" He was like, "You know what's happening." And Bruce was like, "Dang it." um, and then all of the and then it just showed him and a bunch of lights in the sky, and it was a really beautiful shot. And then it cut to later, and no, he didn't call Bruce or something, but I don't know. And then Stephanie was like, "Hey, Bruce, he's about to kill himself." And then it showed Tim laying on his robin stick, and he was like, "I did it." And then like the second wave comes in and he's like super beat up, and then it just showed him getting pelted by lasers, and it's really beautiful and really gross, and it's like a nice panel, and it's good. And then the sweetest moment ever comes, and Stephanie's like sad and stuff, and Bruce is like, we all took this risk with this life. He knew what we all know what the risks are. Stephanie was like, "You don't understand, Bruce," and then showed him the college application because he was going to leave the superhero life and go to college and become an educated Tim Drake. And Bruce was like, "Oh, I understand now." And then Bruce was sad. He was like, and then they hugged, and Stephanie was crying, and it was so cute. And like that's the Batman we need. That's the Batman we need. Like in Justice League Unlimited, when he was talking to that little girl, I know everyone does that example, but this is like the same vibe. Like Batman can't comfort children, then he's not a great Batman. Like I don't really have like a thing against the DCU movies. I watch them anyway. I like them. I like them. I watch them. They're pretty good. I liked Aquaman and Wonder Woman a lot, but I'll still watch. I still liked Batman v Superman. Am I gonna watch it again? No. Did I enjoy it while I watched it? Yes. Um, but like, that's like a weird. I don't really like that version of Batman too much, where he's like, I'm dark, I'm edgy, I hate the world. Like, chill out, dude. Like, you can do that, but like, comfort children. So next was the one with the League of Victims or whatever. And it's a bunch of people who Batman and the Bat Fam. Let me lay out the Bat Fam right quick. So the core Bat Fam right now, it's Batman, obviously, Alfred, obviously. There's Batwoman, who's I don't know her name. Batwoman. There's Spoiler, who's Stephanie. There's Orphan, who's Cass, and also who's my favorite. There's Clayface, who's been reforming, although I know he like does something happens to him. And there is Tim Drake. But then Tim Drake supposedly dies in this, right? But then in the last part, it's like he's shown to be teleported to a different place. And so next is like the League of Victims, and they're like, "Hey, Batman sucks." And spoiler from the Tim Drake thing is in a psychiatric hospital, I believe, with Harper Row, who used to be who used to be like in the Bat family and stuff. And then she was like, "I'm gonna be a psychiatric hospital person." A psychiatrist, psychologist. I don't know. This is too much for me. I'm gonna be a hospital. I'm gonna be a nurse. There we go, nurse. That's the word for it. Good job, me. Oh, my hand hurts. And then she got to be a nurse, and I was like, I'm sad, and Harper's like, it's all right. We're here for you, and that was sweet. And then the League of Villains did it, and their whole thing is Batman's bad for the city. All of the Bat fam hurt one of us, and everything sucks now. Or we're hurt because of Batman. All of our lives suck. You're making other people's lives suck, and until you stop, we're gonna make everyone's lives suck. And they eventually, they caused Stephanie to be like, "You really don't care about us," and then Bruce did a psychological check-in, got a psychologist to do a psychological check-in, but really it was more of a interrogation, and he was in the room hiding, and then Steph called him out on it, and she was like, "Hey man, you can't do that. Dude, this is an interrogation. I'm not doing this." And then she leaves, and then she talks to a program robot that Tim Drake made of him, and it doesn't really do anything, and she like realizes some things, and then eventually, when all the other Batman fam except her go out to stop the League of Villains for the final time, she jumps in and she's like, "Look around! You've destroyed this building. A bunch of people are in the hospital because of you. This isn't right." And she like attacks all the Bat fam and disables them. And the League of Villains, the red mask guy is like, "Yes, stand up for us." And then she smacks him in the face and it's like, "Shut up! I don't like you. All of this needs to stop." That was a good moment. All this needs to stop. And they were like, "Please." And she was like, "Stephanie, I don't know you. I'm not a part of your team anymore. Call me Spoiler. And until this stops, I'll make it hard for you," or whatever. And then she rides off into the sunset or the night because it's nighttime. What's next? Oh yeah. Then the League of Shadows attacks. I might mix up the order of these two, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Then the League of Shadows attacks, and Cass's mom, Cassandra Cain. Cass's mom is in the League of Shadows, and that one was kind of confusing and complicated, but League of Shadows like starts attacking and stuff, and frame Batman for killing someone, and like Loki crucifying her, um, but like with nails in a wall instead of on like a pole. It's like the same effect. Um, and stuff happens. Orphan, like a bunch of them attack the Bat Fam, and then Cass finds her mom and fights her, and her mom's like, "You can see where all of my weak points are," which she can, and it's cool because like when she looks at someone and she's fighting them, they're like a bunch of red circles on the weak points, and I think that's cool. And she was like, "Yes," and then mom was like, "Can you do it? Why didn't you fight to kill?" And she was like, "'Cause bad, because she doesn't like." She was like she didn't talk at all, and now she can talk, but it's like choppy sentences a lot of the time. And she's like, "Fighting is a first language for you." And then she's like, "You're weak," and then like attacks her, and then stuff happens. I don't remember what stuff super well. And then I'm just doing a bad version of the comic story, and whatever. And to go and she goes to fight her mom, and she's like, "Fight to kill for real." And then she does, and she like kind of gets her butt kicked, but then the rest of the Bat fan comes, and but they're locked in. But then she beats them, and Ra's al Ghul is also there, and they all except Cass, maybe Cass, yeah, Cass too, get locked under a bomb, and it's gonna explode in the morning. And someone disables it, and Ra's al Ghul is like, I will do. Here's our deal. I'm gonna disactivate the bomb. You're gonna beat them. Deal? And they were like, fine. So that happened. Also, Batwing is, I think his name is Lucius. But Batwing is the new like tech guy because Tim Drake disappeared. Anyway, and then Tim Drake in prison breaks out, and then future Tim helps break him out, and then future Tim Drake tries to kill Batwoman. And that's my summary of that because I don't want this to go too long. But anyway, I like Batman more now that I've experienced some of the good stuff, and that first arc was really good. And yeah, Cass is underrated and should be in things. Like I know she was like in Birds of Prey, but like it wasn't like really how she is at all. Like I haven't seen Birds of Prey, but I've seen trailers, and it's like in the trailers at least, it's not, which isn't like too big of a problem for me, because I always whenever I watch a movie, whenever a characterization's off, it's not a big deal for me. Like I can say it, like because I imagine that it's like takes place across a different universe, which my dad taught me, and it helped me like just calm down about superhero movies and like just be fine with it not being accurate to the source material. Although if they do like maintain the spirit of the character, they get extra props. Like I know that the Peter from Spider-Man Homecoming is too intertwined with Iron Man. I'm aware of that. That's like a thing. Like Peter's not that central. Iron Man's not central to Peter's character, but it is in Spider-Man Homecoming, and I really like that movie, so I don't really mind. And like stuff like that. I can't really speak on too many, but yeah. So I don't mind that Batman's not like how he is in the comics. Well, how he should be in the comics in the DCEU, but it would be cool if he was. So don't. That's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend. Peace.